Mark Wahlberg extended his hand. Eminem just stared. No smile, no handshake, no nod, just silence. It happened fast, but the cameras caught every second. Millions watched as what should have been a friendly MTV moment became one of the most awkward live encounters in music television history. But what most viewers didn't realize was that this wasn't about ego. It wasn't even about music. It was something far deeper: history, resentment, and a grudge that never cooled. For years, fans speculated. Was it just bad timing? Did Eminem not see the handshake? Or was it deliberate? Those who knew M knew the answer. He doesn't forget. He doesn't fake smiles, and he definitely doesn't dab up someone who's hiding skeletons behind designer suits and blockbuster films. This is the untold story of the silent beef between Eminem and Mark Wahlberg, one never addressed in public, but deeply felt behind the scenes. It's a story of violence, reinvention, and one man who never lets go of the past. Before he was an A-list actor commanding millions per film, Mark Wahlberg's name was synonymous with chaos. Dorchester, Boston, wasn't a neighborhood for the faint-hearted, but even in a place known for its grit, Wahlberg stood out, not as a hustler or artist, but as a violent, impulsive kid, with hate in his eyes and rage in his fists. At 15, Mark didn't just make bad decisions, he committed hate crimes. One day, he and a gang of white teens hurled rocks at a group of elementary school children, all black, while chasing them down the street. They didn't just do it once. The very next day, they did it again, this time at a public beach. The incidents weren't spontaneous. They were deliberate, calculated acts of racial aggression. Then came the infamous attack at 16. Two Vietnamese men brutally assaulted on the same day. One was beaten with a large wooden stick so badly that he lost vision in one eye. Hours later, he punched another man in the face without provocation. Wahlberg was charged with attempted murder, but served only 45 days. Then, he became Marky Mark, a rapper, a model, a celebrity. And for most of the public, that dark past, forgotten. But Eminem never forgot. Eminem didn't stumble into hip-hop. He clawed his way into it. As a white kid growing up on the edge of Detroit's toughest neighborhoods, he wasn't handed a mic. He had to steal every second of spotlight with grit, wordplay, and unapologetic aggression. He memorized syllables, dissected rhyme schemes, studied Rakim and Cool G rap like they were gospel. He got booed, battled, beaten, but he got better. He built Slim Shady, a character of pure rage, humor, and danger. And when Dr. Dre gave him the cosign, the industry had no choice but to pay attention. But success didn't change him, it sharpened him. Every track was a war cry, every line a bullet. He dissed anyone who faked toughness, who coasted on image. To Eminem, hip-hop was sacred. And anyone who used it for clout, they were the enemy. And that's exactly what he saw in Mark Wahlberg. During an early 2000s MTV taping, Mark Wahlberg was scheduled to present with Eminem. Wahlberg walked out, smiled, and stuck out his hand. M didn't flinch, no reaction. The tension was electric. Fans thought it was a joke, but insiders said otherwise. Wahlberg's camp was furious. Security was on alert. This wasn't about a handshake, it was a rejection. Eminem wasn't there to make friends. He was there to send a message. A man who once attacked minorities, now standing on stage acting like a peer? M wasn't buying it. From that moment on, the Cold War began. During an early 2000s MTV taping, Mark Wahlberg was scheduled to present with Eminem. Wahlberg walked out, smiled, and stuck out his hand. M didn't flinch, no reaction. The tension was electric. Fans thought it was a joke, but insiders said otherwise. Wahlberg's camp was furious. Security was on alert. This wasn't about a handshake, it was a rejection. Eminem wasn't there to make friends. He was there to send a message. A man who once attacked minorities, now standing on stage acting like a peer? M wasn't buying it. From that moment on, the Cold War began. Mark Wahlberg rebuilt himself. Movie roles, family man branding, inspirational interviews, and for most people, it worked. But Eminem remembered everything. He never needed to say Wahlberg's name. A smirk, a lyric, a vague shot. It was enough to get fans posting court docs, victim statements, and old clips. Wahlberg's team scrambled, records sealed, interviews coached. But M's words still sliced through the armor. Because in hip-hop, you can't hide behind a script. No collabs, no public apologies, no reconciliations. Years passed, and the silence remained. Wahlberg dodged events where M might appear. M continued throwing untraceable darts, and fans kept connecting the dots. Reddit threads, TikTok clips, YouTube breakdowns. Wahlberg's past stayed alive because Eminem never let it die. This was never about rap. It was about principle. One man stood on respect, the other built on image, and that silence between them, it was deafening. Eminem doesn't forget, and he doesn't forgive fake. In his world, you can't escape your past with a publicist and a rebrand. Wahlberg tried to erase the past. M made sure people remembered. And he didn't need to say it out loud, because when Slim Shady is quiet, that's when you should worry. Some beefs explode. This one simmered, and it still burns.